So today we're back with another Halloween video tutorial, and we're going to be doing Slappy from Goosebumps series. So to begin with, I'm just going to draw a rough guideline of what we need to do to create the picture. So I'm going to start off with a big oval circle for the head, and then a little neck, and then I'm just going to add in the shoulders. So once we've done that, we're just going to take our ruler and we're going to measure it and divide it completely in half and put a dot in the middle. Then we're going to draw a line across to divide the face into two. Once we've done that, we can start to add in the eyes. So on the left side, I'm just going to draw two dots, and on the right side. Then I'm going to do a half circle across the top on the left and then across the top on the right. Once you've done that, we can do the exact same underneath. We're going to make them nice and round and nice and big, so they look like puppet eyes. Now once you've done that, we're going to check a line on either side of the eye, on the inside of the eye, and we're going to draw it straight down for the nose. Then I'm just going to add in a little circle for the bottom of the nose, and then stick two nostrils coming off either side. Then we'll add a curved line on each side for each nostril, and then we're just going to draw some rough lines for the bridge of the nose. Once we've got our rough guide of the nose, I'm just going to put in some markings for the lip, and then we're going to move on to the eyelids. So we're going to do the eyelids to the eyes and make the eyeball nice and round inside. Once we've done that, we want to make a nice big circular pupil, and that's going to be pretty big as well, filling almost all the circle. And then inside that we'll add in a little smaller pupil, and then we're just going to do the same on the other side. So again, we're going to thicken up the lines and make the eyelids stand out a bit more, and then we want to curve in a giant eyeball. So then it's roughly the same size as we did on the left side. I want to make it nice and big, the pupil, and then add in another little tiny circle inside that one. So once you've done that, we can start adding a little bit more features on the face. So from here, I'm just going to shade in the nostrils. And then add in a little curve underneath the nose. Darken some of these lines up. So we've got a nice start now, so we're just going to move on with the mouth. So from the middle of the eyeballs, we're just going to do a line straight down to determine where the mouth's going to be. So that's how wide the mouth will be. So I'm going to draw this curved line, and then I'm going to do a nice thin top lip. So we'll just add a thin top lip, and then we want to thicken up the middle part of the lips. Underneath that, I'm going to put a fat bottom lip, so that's going to come down and then out. And now you've got this puppet sort of look. So from the end of the lips, we're just going to draw two darker lines down, and this will be the jaw where the puppet talks. So I'm just going to add in a few cracks, few details on the bottom of the chin. I'll do that roughly, nice and light. I'll add a little bit of shading, and then we can make a start on the rest of the chin. So the side of the eyes, I'm just going to add in a few details. So now I can put in the eyebrows. So we're just going to draw the eyebrows slightly downwards and towards the middle of the nose. So he's got quite an angry expression on his face. So as we add in the eyebrows, they're going to go and slightly curve out at the top. And that's going to determine how wide we do the face. So from the eyebrows, they're just going to come slightly down and then out for nice wide cheeks. And the same at the top for the forehead. Then we can start to add in his hairline. So at this point, just roughly do his hair. We might want to change it a bit later on if it's not how we want it. But we'll add in some more pieces So his hair at the top of his forehead sort of goes up, then down in the middle, and then back up on the other side. So it's just a little bit of trial and error on this bit. I want to meet it in the middle, so it's like a quiff, sort of like a Bruce Willis haircut, receding hairline. So just rub out some of the guidelines that we've been using. And then his hair has sort of like a double line here, so it's like a quiff, to make it look thick. Just adding this, a big oblong circle in the middle, just so I know how high to go. And that will help us follow that rough guide. So we've got his hair in. I'm just going to shade in these pupils of the iris. And then I'm going to put in a few details on the nose. You see on the nose he's got like a scuff mark as well, like a scratched nose. Lost some paintwork. And then I'm going to darken up the lines on the nose that we're keeping. So on the lips we want to add in some, I forgot what they're called, dimples, I think that's what we're trying to think of. So he's sort of got like dimples where his mouth's smiling. So I'm just going to curve that a little bit more. And then the chin will curve round. Just want it a little bit wider. So his ear, the bottom of his ear, it goes in line with the lips, and the top of his ear goes in line with the top of the eye. So I'm just going to rub out his hair a little bit and make it a little bit thinner. So that his ear sits better. So then we want to do the same on the right side. So we line up the bottom of the ear. So his cheeks come out because they're nice and big. So I want to try and curve the cheek on the left side out a little bit more. Yeah, that's better, more rounded. And we'll just extend his chin in the middle, so it's slightly lower than the rest of his face, because that's the moving part of a ventriloquist dummy. And then we'll just lower his scratched face down a little bit. Adding a bit of shading, try and give it some 3D look, some volume. So just darken up his lips in the middle, add some texture lines on his bottom lip. And then we'll just guide out where the neck line is going to be. So it's kind of rounded around, but goes farther up on one side than the other. So back on with the ears, the right ear, the top at the top of the eye, and the bottom in line with the lips. So if we just rub that bit out again and try and get his hairline a bit better. And put some texture lines inside the hair. So his ear curves round. So I'm just going to rub out them guidelines. So I've got quite a few guidelines still on the picture. Right, so we're adding his cheekbones. Try and curve his face a little bit. So I'm just going to narrow the left side of his hair a little bit, make it a little bit narrower. Just going to thicken his hair line. So I'm just going to try and extend his hair a little bit because it's looking a little flat. I'm just going to double up his fringe part and rub this little bit out and make it go in a little bit more. And then I'm going to rub the next part out. I'm going to make that come up higher. So I'll raise that up a little bit. That looks a bit better. Just put in. So he's got a little scratch, scuff mark at the top of his forehead on the right side. So he's got more paintwork missing off his forehead, as well as his nose and chin. So now we can make a start on his body. So he's wearing a dicky bow. So we'll draw that on his collar part. And then add in his shirt underneath. So we'll just put some crease marks in his dicky bow. Make it a little bit wider, just rub that bit out. Try and make it a bit higher up. I'll thicken the middle bit up. And then his collar comes down and his suit jacket. So just add in the bottom parts of the collar. And then his button for his shirt. So on the right side his shoulder goes down, and on the left side his shoulder diagonally down. So on the right side I'm going to draw in a nice circular. He's got like, I don't know, sort of like a flower on his tuxedo. So I'm just going to roughly draw this in bits. So it'll look better if we decide to colour it in or go around it in ink. So I'm just going to randomly draw these circles in different directions. And then we're pretty much finished. So basically now we can go around it in a black biro and rub out all the excess pencil work.